Selam. Tamam. Salatu vesselamu ala Resulina Muhammedin sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem. Ders diyorum inşallah fazla inşallah Muhammed'in tarikatuna as-suhba vel hayru fil cemiyye. Mübarek bir söz var. Himmet-i rical teklâ'l cibal diyor. İnsanların himmetli olduktan sonra dağları da ortadan kaldırır diyor.
There's a beautiful saying that if a person is determined, shows effort and has himma, that himma and determination and efforts will move mountains.
İnsanın karşısına bir şey duramaz.
Nothing can withstand in the face of a person's efforts and determination to achieve a goal.
İstediği vakit yapar insan.
If a person is determined to do something, he will achieve it.
Allah'ın izniyle ama
by the permission of Allah Almighty.
İyilik olması lazım.
But what is important is that those things a person desires to achieve are good things.
İnsanlar kötülüğü yapması daha kolay.
However, it is more easy for people to do bad things.
İyilik yapmak daha zor.
To do good things is difficult.
Niçin? Çünkü iyiliği yapmaya kalkarsa şeytanlar mani olur.
Because why is that? Why is it so difficult to do good things? Because if you desire to do a good thing, then the devils will come in order to prevent you to do that good thing.
Nefsi mani olur.
Your ego will try to prevent you from doing that good deed.
Etraftaki insanlar mani olur.
And also the people around you will try to prevent you from doing that good deed.
Dünya hali böyle şimdi.
This is the state and the environment of the world we'll now live in.
İyi yasaklıyorlar.
People these days have prohibited to do good things.
Kötülüyorlar. Kötü
And they speak ill of good deeds.
İyi olarak gösteriyor.
And people these days represent bad deeds as good deeds.
Bir şey diyemiyorsun.
And they prevent you from speaking up and standing by what is good.
Kötüye kötü diyemiyorsun.
And people are no longer allowed to label what is bad as bad, and you are not allowed to call what is bad to be bad.
Hemen bütün çünkü insanların çoğu kötüyle beraber kötü.
Most people these days are with badness and they stand by badness.
İyi de tanıtmışlar.
And they represent and promote badness as something good.
Ona inanmışlar.
And they believe in what they do, which is bad. They believe it is good.
Temiz, güzel insan gibi yaşamak varken
and one should live a beautiful life in purity and goodness.
Onu tam tersini yapıyorlar.
But instead people live a life which is the complete opposite.
Onu da iyi olarak gösteriyor.
And they represent that bad, miserable life as something good.
Onu bırak, hadi yaptık, siz yapıyorsunuz, o yetmiyor. 3-5 kişi azınlık iyi yapıyorsa onları da istemiyorlar.
But let them live the way they want to live, but they don't let you alone. So they lead a bad and miserable life, but they also do not allow you, and they don't allow the minority who wants to lead a good and pure life. If they don't allow them to live in peace, a good and pure life, they also want them to live the way they live.
Onlar da illa bizim gibi olun diyor, yapıyor.
They want that minority who wants to lead a good and pure life. They want them to also be like them in a bad and miserable state.
bu eski zamanın insanları öyle bir peygamber gelir, oraya hidayet için çağırır. Kimse
In former times, during the times of the prophets and messengers, there was one prophet who called upon people, who appealed upon people to goodness and invited them to goodness.
kabul etmez.
But the people did not accept that.
Ondan sonra ona da saldırırlar ki sen nasıl, bunlar iyiliği emrediyor, güzelliği emrediyor.
Instead, they attacked him, and they said, "How is it that you invite and call upon people to goodness?"
Bunları istemeyiz
And they said, "We don't want any goodness."
diye Allah muhafaza eylesin. Bu zaman da aynı şekilde oldu.
May Allah Almighty protect us. The world we now live in and the people these days have become the same. They don't leave people alone. And if a person wants to lead a good life and wants to be a good one, they won't leave him alone. But instead, they want those good people to be also be in a bad state.
İyilik yapmak zor oldu.
It has become difficult to be a good person and to do goodness.
Ya zor olunca ne kadar zorsa ecri sevabı da o kadar çoktur.
However, you must know that the more difficult it is to be a good person these days, and no matter how difficult it is to do good things, you must know that the more you will be rewarded for those good deeds.
Onun için Allah yolunda olan insan hiç kimsenin ona gösterdiği şeye, yaptığı şeylere umru olmaz.
Therefore, a person who follows the way of Allah Almighty should not let himself be influenced by what is happening around him and by what others say. He should not care about what others say.
Allah'ın emri mühimdir.
Or a person who follows the way of Allah Almighty is only interested in fulfilling Allah Almighty's orders.
Ona tabi olmaz. İsterse bütün insanlar karşısında olsun.
The one who follows the way of Allah Almighty is only focused in fulfilling Allah Almighty's orders, and a person who follows the way of Allah Almighty does not care whether the entire world is against him.
Beğenmesinler, sevmesinler, onu yapması lazım.
A person who follows the way of Allah Almighty does not let him be influenced by what other people may think of him, whether the entire world opposes him, whether everyone thinks bad of him. A person who follows the way of Allah Almighty just continues.
Onların hiçbir kıymeti yok. Kıymet olan yapılan iyiliktedir.
What others say is not important. What is important is whether what you do is good or not.
Dediğimiz gibi ne kadar zor olursa o kadar sevap fazladır.
You should do what is good, and no matter how difficult it is, you should always do what is good, because the more difficult it is, the more rewards you will be gaining for that goodness.
Allah kolaylık versin, Allah hidayet versin insanlara.
May Allah Almighty make things easy for us, and may Allah Almighty guide people towards the right way.
Hakikaten insanlar o kadar yapıyorlar ki çoğu insan yaptığı şeyi iyi zannediyor.
People now these days can no longer distinguish between what is right and what is wrong, and they think that what they do is good, even though it is bad.
Yaptığı kötülüğü, günahları, şeyleri hepsini normal.
People consider their evil and bad deeds as something good. They consider it as something normal.
İyi, bu hayat böyle de zannediyor.
And they accept bad things and evil things as part of lives, and they don't make an effort to not do those bad things or evil deeds.
Halbuki akıl mantık var. Allah emri ortada. Onlara tabi olması lazım.
However, what is good and what is bad is clear. The orders of Allah Almighty are clear, and what Allah Almighty ordered us to do is clear, and Allah Almighty has given people a mind to think and reason to realize, and people should realize what Allah Almighty has ordered, and they should be able to distinguish between right and wrong.
Olmayan da bir faydası yok, zararı çok. Allah muhafaza etsin, Allah heder.
And if you do not fulfill Allah Almighty's orders, there's nothing but loss and harm, and there's no benefit in not fulfilling Allah Almighty's orders. May Allah Almighty protect us and guide people.
Amin Allah tevfik. El Fatiha.